Boom. Electricians
Boom.
Unfiltered. We're here.
Unfiltered.
Yeah. Listen, just so people know what time it is with Unfiltered. This is where we talk about whatever we want, not to do with the electrical industry.
Nope.
And the idea behind that is that you guys can get to know what kind of lunatics we are behind the scenes, rather than just constantly talking about electrical stuff and electrical related things. And we get to do a podcast about whatever we want.
Fact. I'm just looking through the comments from you and me doing the zombie apocalypse one, which we only touched on at the very end, wasn't it? Really,
it was. Very disappointed with the views on that. I'm not going to lie.
What did we get? 550. Yeah, it's fair.
I am, because I thought, is there a better thumbnail in existence?
It was a good thumbnail, to be fair. I'm just reading through the stuff here. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it, and I know you and me could do an absolute banging one, but it's if our audience wants to listen to it, and by the looks of it, they don't.
No, I don't think anyone wants to listen to us generally, but yeah, zombie apocalypse. What was the things in it? I've been very lax with comments. Oh mate, what is going on? I've been very lax with comments lately.
I don't know. We went off on one about the medieval stuff, and was it the cowpox and the stuff, or did I say that in the main one?
Yeah, but let's talk about conspiracy theory today. So this Petrol Crisis. So yes. What is the date today? It is 27th of the 9th, 2021. Yeah. So we've had a petrol crisis in the UK.
So can I tell you about what I've gathered from it, because I've not read the news
let me just set this. Listen, let me set the tone. Right. So we've had a petrol crisis because we might have listeners in the US, in India, in Nairobi. You got to set the tone. So there was a petrol crisis, and it was all triggered by two news outlets, The Sun and Sky News. They said, right, there's no one delivering petrol because there's no drivers. And then everyone started panic buying, like they did during COVID with the toilet roll. And they started panic buying, and it stripped all the petrol garages of juice now. So juice is what we say in the UK for petrol.
Is it?
In London.
Do you know what my mate calls it? He calls it dinosaur juice. When he goes to get petrol, he goes, "I'm just going to get some dinosaur juice."
That doesn't even make sense.
It does, because it's a fossil fuel, and fossil fuels are from dinosaurs at some point.
That's if dinosaurs existed.
Well, don't. Of course they existed, Sam.
Do they though? Have you ever seen a dinosaur? I've seen a fossil. Have you though?
Yeah.
How do you know it's actually a fossil? Was you there when they dug it up? No, you haven't. So you don't know anything.
Wow.
So so the juice in the UK is run out. A lot of petrol stations round where I live and
me
and you.
I think everywhere
closed. So this morning I left double early because I knew the petrol garage down the bottom of the road, the Golf garage, would have petrol, and I left at 10 to 6. And there's only 4 cars in there, so I got filled up. Phoned my wife.
Did they let you fill up though? Because a lot of people are doing £35 limits and whatnot.
Yeah, well, later on that day they changed to a £40 limit, but I'm doing 70, 75 miles a day, so going to Maidstone and back. So that's only going to get me to. I'll get 400 miles out of that car if I'm lucky, if I don't have the AC on and stuff like that. But all of a sudden it gets to a certain point and then it drops right down. You know what petrol gauges are like. So I probably won't get much. I probably won't see the end of the week out of it.
I've just been lucky. Obviously, I've been off work, and then I still had a full tank from nearly 6 weeks ago. It's just been sat. Luckily, no one stolen my van. Otherwise, it would have got very far. But I've still got half a tank.
But then the reason, when you look into it, is there's no the drivers don't want to work for the same wages as migrants used to work for. So migrants from Eastern European countries, a lot of them got laid off during COVID and stuff like that. All kinds of things have created this perfect storm that's led to not a petrol shortage or a fuel shortage, but a driver shortage. So, and it turns out now that that's not even a thing. Is what happened was everyone started buying it, run it all out, and they just can't refill it quick enough.
Yeah.
The conspiracy theory that I found out today is during COVID there wasn't as many deliveries. Petrol's got a hot like fuel only lasts so long before it goes on the turn, and so they've got all this fuel stockpiled, and they're like, how are we going to sell it? We've got all this money sitting there. We need to get rid of it. So they've created a fuel crisis. So everyone's gone out, stripped all the petrol stations. Now they've got to get it all back. They get rid of all the old juice, and then get rid of their reserves. I find that quite compelling, actually.
Yeah, so I wouldn't argue with that, to be honest. I don't say it's true or false, but if it came out into the light that was the actual case and that's the reason, I'd go, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. But what is surprising that I don't know if the law protects it, but now there's a massive high demand for it, and you could double the price of fuel and it would still be empty at the petrol stations. People would still pay
don't think you're allowed to.
So I'm saying I'm not sure if it's protected.
No, let me just look that up, because I think there's something called profiteering.
But what's the annoying thing is a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, know this is absolute shit about the fuel crisis and everything like that. But you still got the idiots and the maniacs that will go out and go, I have to go and get fuel. I've seen that many pictures of people filling buckets up in the back of their cars and jerry cans and stockpiling it. To then you've got the normal people like you and me who aren't panic buying, but we just need to get fuel like the rest of the country. We can't get in and get any, which then affects our work. But my best mate's a paramedic, so he's an ambulance driver. And I think what they said around here is they ended up finishing their shift and driving around for nearly 2 hours to try and get fuel, because they did actually have petrol pumps at the headquarters so the ambulance could fill up. That obviously ran out because it wasn't being refilled. So then the ambulances were having to go out on the streets, the normal forecourts, to fill up. And that was just the ambulance. I don't know about the police and the fire engines and everything. And they were having to carry on their shifts afterwards, after they finished, just to go and get fuel for the next crew to take over. It was terrible.
This is it. It's so
because people are fucking idiots and selfish.
Do you know what? And I was of the mindset that, do you know what, are people being idiots? Because you don't want to be left without fuel. Like, if I didn't get fuel this morning, I won't go into work. It was that simple.
No, I know that, but you filled up because you had to. You have the people that are stockpiling jerry cans and bags and oh my god,
dumb.
I thought I passed out then. Yeah, but jerry cans and even bags. There was a video of a guy filling a bin bag in a petrol station and picking the bag and putting it in the boot of his car. You think, what point is that normal to do in today's society? But that's the same thing we have with COVID. People stockpiling toilet roll. Like,
let me tell you now.
Fuck is wrong with you?
Let me tell you now. I don't need toilet roll.
Yeah, you just shit yourself where you are and just use a leaf, or just hang your ass over the bath.
I'll just have a poo rag that you just sort of wiped.
A what?
And folded.
A poo rag?
A poo rag, yeah. And then you just wipe and wash it. Done. Later.
Oh my god. That's almost as bad as when you told everyone you don't wash your feet in the shower. You just let the water run off them.
Just spray it, didn't you? You don't get in there like my feet.
Yeah, you do.
I can't touch my feet.
Oh, no, that's not cool. That's not cool. But to be fair, you don't need toilet roll. Like when we went to India, they don't use loo roll. They have they only use one hand, so they shake with the right hand and they wipe with the left. They only ever
don't
eat
say
with the right
India
hand.
Though, like that's a thing across India. I think
but when I went to India, that was the rule. I'm not saying there could be other countries that do it. When I went to India, every time we went to the toilet, there was a bucket. They left toilet roll for the tourists and whatnot. They would have a bucket and a tap next to it, and they would wash themselves with their left hand, clean their hands afterwards. No toilet paper. And my dad, when we were out there, he was like, "It's such a more hygienic thing, because let's say you got a piece of shit on your arm right now, and you got a piece of dry toilet paper and you just wiped it off. It's not going to get all the mess off, is it? Unless people
who would do that? Why wouldn't you just like?
But what I'm saying, it's the same thing with your arse, isn't it? So you go to the toilet,
yeah, but like,
and you use dry toilet paper to then wipe the skin. There's still going to be some sort of residue there. You're not completely clean. I had a story from a mate years ago. Every time he went for a poo, he would have a shower afterwards to clean
my
himself.
mate does that. Martin,
Yeah,
does that.
and he said to me, all you're doing is just smushing it in, and you're just taking the surface off, but you've still got stuff there. So when people
smushed it in, like
you're just rubbing it around a little bit, aren't you? You're getting the top layer off.
Listen, can we get back to the conspiracy theory, please?
But this is a part of it. It's I can't remember how we divulged to this bit, but I understand when people say poo roll, yeah,
because people are buying poo roll.
Oh yeah, you don't need to
too much about poo today. I can't believe you made me tell my poo story on the main.
So
on the main show.
In the episode that's coming out next Monday, Sam's got a new poo story. It's at the very end. He was very. Well, I didn't want to say it, but I kept bringing it up. So you're welcome, everyone. It's a good poo story as well, in front of his wife as well. Oh dear. There was poo juice, as Sam called it.
Right. Anyway, back to the whole conversation at hand, right? And then I've heard. So that's one thing. What do you think about that? It is completely plausible. It's plausible.
Yeah, I would say so.
And I feel
I don't know about fuel that could turn. I've never known fuel.
Yeah,
I know about if you left it in a lawnmower or petrol. If you leave it for a couple of years, then yeah, but not.
Well, how long have they had it for?
I don't know.
Well then,
if it's from COVID, stockpile from COVID, it's only been a year.
But how do you know they didn't buy it the year before? And they're like, well, we've got a couple of years. And then all of a sudden COVID hits and they're like, well, how are we going to get rid of this? Wait till the end of COVID and then we'll create a crisis. Don't worry about it.
Maybe. Yeah, plausible.
I feel like it's plausible. I feel like it's more plausible than, just ain't got enough drivers. That don't seem real to me. Like, because
you've only got one tweet or one news outlet that picked up by the wrong person who then spreads it across social media. This is the problem. The danger of social media now is you only got one idiot creating either fake news or exacerbating something. Is that a good word to use?
Nick, you've been reading the dictionary.
No, I haven't. I can't read. I heard someone say it earlier. I think it's one of Jordan's videos. Thanks, Jordan. And you get one person to exaggerate a small truth across the wrong platform. It spread like wildfire. And then you've got the people that are the idiots that fill it up in bin bags to go, oh my God, we need to do this. And then it's just a massive knock-on effect of everyone having to do it.
Yeah, but there was a in the local Facebook groups, there was a post going around about this geezer had like 10 jerry cans just filling each one up and filling up his car. If I'd have seen that, I'd have just took them off him and be like, no, you can't have these.
Yeah, isn't there most petrol stations anyway? And I'm not on about at the moment, but if I go to fill up at, let's say, my local Tesco, there's only £100 limit anyway. It won't let you do it anymore. Or is that not the case everywhere?
Tesco's are funny because you can't pay like full amount on your phone. Whereas you go to like a Sainsbury's or like a normal petrol garage and it's over £45, you can pay as much as you want on your phone now. But Tesco's won't let you pay more than £45 still.
Question, and I know the answer to this, but I think I'll bring it up. Well, I've been to America loads of times when I was younger, and you can go up to a petrol station and go, I only want $20 of fuel. You give them the $20, they will put $20 in there.
Yeah.
I would absolutely adore for the UK to go, you go up there and you go, I only want 40 quid. You pay the 40 quid, you get your 40 quid's worth. But they don't do it here because they've got people like me who want it to land on an even number or a £20 or £25. So when you go over it by a couple of pence, you go, fuck, I'm going to go to £25 now and spend more money.
They're so dumb.
That's the case though. But I can't, to people that go in there and put it in and then it comes to £18.78. I'm like,
that's me. That's me.
No, he's going to go home.
Do you know why? Because I've got other things. Weird. No, I've got other things to worry about. Like, that's such a minor thing. I'm like, I need, say I'm putting...
To be honest, most of the time it was to do with when I used to do my paper books. So when I come out with my fuel receipts, I had to write it down and total it up. It was just easy to go £20, £20, £20, £50, £20. Like, add it up that way rather than £18.64, £27.11.
See me now, I'm just like, I put it in and I'm like... So I always like to fill it up to the max. There's no better feeling Well, there is. There's two good feelings with a car, right? There's two good feelings with a car. One, new tires all round.
Nah, I don't like that. Squeaky.
No, I love it. It's like I feel like I go around corners faster and stuff. I don't know. I'm a child. And then two is full petrol tank. You know when you've brimmed it and you're like, that is so blessed.
I used to put fill the van up every sort of the first Monday of every month. I would sort of go, right, let's fill it up. But then I kept thinking to myself, the amount of, because the vans, I mean, my old Vivaro, Christ, I could probably get 100. This was years ago, about 120, 130 quid in it, which was ridiculous compared to the Transit petrol tank. But I was thinking the amount of weight I'm putting in the van just to drive around my local area is going to be less fuel efficient now with the amount of weight. I might as well just put a third of a tank in and fill up more often because I've got less weight to carry on and be more fuel efficient.
You know what? I'd rather just pay the extra, whatever it, 3p of the weight thing.
I know, it depends how much it works out to.
And the thing is, as well, I can't stand putting in 20 quids. It's like, what person puts in 20 quid? Just fill it up. It drives me mad.
I've got a mate that used to just put a fiver in every now and then. I was like, that is ridiculous. I know.
We can't be friends. If you put in less than £20, we can't be friends.
I remember my dad having an argument with my granddad years ago where he would drive. So where I live in Stafford, but where I'm from, Nosal, he would drive 7 miles from the village, even though there was a petrol station in the village. We would drive past it to go to the other side of Stafford to go to a BP garage because it had cheaper fuel. I mean, I'm talking by less than like 7p. But obviously, driving all the way there and all the way back to get fuel is costing way more than just filling it up locally.
This is another thing. I can't play that game. Like, if I need petrol, I'm going to that petrol. I don't even look at the price of fuel. Not that I'm balling out of control, but that just seems like a problem I don't need in my life.
I've never done it.
My missus is like that. She's like, oh, go round to the next one. I'm like, well, can't we just go in here? I like they sell Space Raiders in here. No, go to the next one. I have to go to the next one because it's 3p cheaper. Yeah. I'm like, oh, mate. No,
Adam almost has hissy fits at me when we're working away. We're going on the motorway. Randomly, obviously, need to get fuel or whatever, and I'll just nip into the services. And he was like, "You're getting fuel on a service station." I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He goes, "It costs loads more." I said, "I don't care. Like, it really doesn't affect me a couple of quid more or less." But he had such a thing about it. I was like, what, you wouldn't fill up? He was like, nah, way.
Listen, my brother and my mum and dad's, there's one petrol station coming back from Croydon down to where we live, and it's called Clackett Lane Services. And I know they take the mick. They do take the out and out mick out of people because it's like at least 20p more. At least 20p more. And I've filled up in there before. I just like, I cannot be bothered. I just want a full tank so I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
And I will try and avoid it at all costs now. But if they really need petrol, they'll put just enough to get back to like a local petrol station. Like put in like £7 or something. Just because my dad will not pay that money. He's like,
that's fair enough. Well, this is the thing now, people with electric cars, you know, I put a little meme post on Instagram the other day of the little face of Leonardo DiCaprio laughing, saying people with electric cars right now. And it's true, they're getting away, do whatever they want. My neighbour's got an electric car, the MG next to us, and he was just looking at me the other day when I was talking to his wife about because she needed to get some fuel, and he was like, I don't have this problem.
Yeah, but you've got, is it an MG, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't boast about your MG, bro.
Mate, I went out in it the other week because he's got a unit round corner of mine. He wants me to fit a couple of EV chargers, and my God, does it shift? I've never been in a Tesla, you see, but I went in this, and he was tanking it, and I was so shocked at how quick it went. And it was a nice car. I wouldn't ever buy an MG, but it's a nice car, and it wasn't. I think brand new, 20 grand for an all electric car. It's nice, it's quick, it does what it's meant to do. I thought that's a good price. Yeah.
Maybe I won't go too hard. Last time I bought an MG was when I was younger, right? I bought an MGF. I thought I was balling. Anyway, the little convertible one, all levered up, nice little sports car. I think I was only like 19 or something. I thought, yes.
They had cars back then.
The MGF had this what's called the K series engine. And the head gasket used to blow every 3,000 miles or something.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, I bought it. 2 days later, head gasket went, £1,600 to fix. Couple months later, head gasket went again. New engine, and then in the end, I sold it for like 500 quid. I was just sick to death of it.
Well, he's not had that problem.
Yeah, I know, but I never look at MGs the same.
I thought they stopped selling MGs about 8 years ago and the factory's shut, and then his is a brand new one. I thought,
Yeah, but
nice
no,
car.
China bought it.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I remember the old Rover 25s when there was an MG version that looked exactly the same. They just had different badges. Well,
this is a dreadful conversation.
Brilliant.
Right, Petrol Crisis done. Wow.
Bye.